Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow Room, and we've made it to the S's and the end of the S's because we're going in reverse alphabetical order. Now, we're going to be hanging out in the letter S for a very, very, very long time. I mean, I've got many bins of S's. In fact, I haven't even got them back yet from the regular Overflow Room, but they're coming. Get ready. And here we're dealing with, of course, Shimanovsky. We're overflowing with Shimanovsky. Such a wonderful composer, sadly neglected. And I think one of the reasons is that it was really hard to get first-class recordings of his music here in the West until fairly recently. And this reflects that. You'll see what I mean. We've got, Shimanovsky, Mazurkas, with Anna Kianowska on Duck's label. I mean, these are just like lots and lots of things to go through. We'll talk about some of them a little bit more as we can. This is a wonderful disc. This is on Thoraphon, the Second Symphony and the Fourth Symphony, which is the Symphonia Concertante for piano and orchestra, featuring Bogdan Chapevsky with the Philharmonia Pomorska under Takayo Ukigaya. Now, do you know why he's not so well known? No one can pronounce his name, the performers' names, the conductors' names, the orchestra's names. The label doesn't exist. It's a problem, but I saved it. Hello, Finster. Finster's up there, hanging out. She should be popping into view any second now. Oh, we should decide to go the other way. Of course, that's because I said she'd be popping into view. Cats are like that, right? Then we've got Harnassi. This is a fabulous ballet, a ballet with singing. I mean, it's in Polish. That's one of the reasons people don't know it so well, but it's 36 minutes. It's for tenor, choir, and orchestra. It's one of the great choral ballets. It should be as popular as like Carmina Burana. It's fantastic. And Mandragora, his ballet grotesque for tenor and orchestra. This is on the Schwann label, with the orchestra of the Polish National Opera under Robert Satanowski. I mean, how much I'd love to be named Satanowski. It's just fabulous, isn't it? So, there's that. These are obscure. And his music doesn't deserve to be obscure. Then we've got like lots of Naxos. Naxos did a Shimanovsky edition, which had its ups and downs. As you might have expected. It was with Eastern European forces back in the 1980s, when those were not the best forces out there. But see, there was the cat, and at least it's still around. It's good stuff, and there she is. So we have here Symphony Number 3, the Song of the Night. This is quite good. This is with Karol Szymanowski, with Wisław Ochman, the great tenor, and the Fourth Symphony, the Symphony Concertante, again with Tadeusz Zmudzinski. And the concert overture, we just don't know these people, so they're not popular. The songs with orchestra, again with Karol Szymanowski, and the Polish State Philharmonic Orchestra, Katowice. Oh, these are amazing, these crazy, exotic, Asian-inflected, faux Orientalist songs, the love songs of Hafitz, the songs of the infatuated Muezzin, songs of a fairy tale princess, Roxana's song from King Roger, and 3 songs after a poem by Jan Kasprowicz. Okay, and symphonies 1 and 2. So there we go. There are 4 symphonies in all, but 3 is the Song of the Night, the choral work, and 4 is that Symphonia Concertante for piano and orchestra, which is one of the great 20th century works. Oh, I have a million recordings of this. One of the greatest chamber music records ever made in the history of humankind. The Franck Violin Sonata with Shimanovsky's Myths, and Roxana's song from the opera King Roger, transcribed for violin and orchestra, and a Kirpish song, Polish folk tune, with Kaja Dansowska and Christian Zimmermann on Deutsche Grammophon. One of the just great records, and I have that in various incarnations. Also, one of the great recordings of chamber music, the 2-string quartets. They are masterpieces. They're like Janáček's 2-string quartets. They are, sort of rare, fabulous 2-off, not 1-off, there are 2 of them, 2-off efforts, and they are glorious works from 17 and 1927 with the Carmina Quartet on Denon. And I don't even know if this is still around, but it's a great great record with the Webern slow movement, Langsamer Satz for string quartet. It's just terrific. Then there was this sort of EMI Polish series of Shimanovsky stuff. The Concert Overture, Second Symphony, Third Symphony. These are with Jacek Kasperzik and Jerzy Semkov. It's all the usual stuff. You've got the violin concertos 1 and 2 with Konstanty Kulka, who's a very fine violinist, and Jerzy Maksimiuk, and some Gorecki and Tadeusz Baird. And we've got, what else do we got here? Harnassi with Antony Witt back in his childhood, because these were recorded in the 80s and 70s, mid-70s, and Jerzy Semkov and Felicia Blumenthal playing some piano stuff. This was the EMI Matrix series. Remember that? It was a mid-price series of contemporary music and strange things. And Shimanovsky qualified back in those days as a strange thing. So we've got violin concertos 1 and 2 in the concert overtures with Lydia Mordkovich and Vasily Sinaisky. She's she's a very, very fine violinist. These are good performances. But the violin concertos have sort of come into their own, at least the first one has. And it's been recorded a lot lately and very, very well by lots of people. Okay, now here is some of the Shimanovsky series that used to be available on Polskie Nagrania. Polskie Nagrania was the Superfon of Poland. It was the Polish national label. I'll never forget. See, they were hard to find, these things. They really were. And I remember seeing them at the Meadham convention when I was doing the Cannes Classical Awards. It was around, 1990-something. It was after the fall of the Berlin Wall. And right when all of these Eastern European labels were being privatized. And they didn't know what was going on. I mean, they were talking about deer in the headlights. And I felt sorry for them. I really did. And, the Reed organization, which runs the Meadham convention, sold them at ridiculous prices, huge stands at this trade show. It's a trade show. You buy a stand and you display your stuff. And they had these big stands with all this stuff being displayed because, they wanted to have international distribution because they were being privatized. And I remember going to the Polska Nagrania stand and the guy who was running it, who spoke no English at all, and except for 4 words, "We are being privatized." He sounded like a robot. "We are being privatized. We are being privatized." And I was there as like the press. And, free press was something these people were not familiar with. And we would walk there with our press cards and say, "Well, could you tell us what you're doing? What's going to happen?" And they would look at us like, "You mean you want to know what we're doing? I mean, you want us to tell you what we're doing?" It's like, well, yeah, isn't that kind of why you're here? And I don't really know what's happened to Polska Nagrania since then. I don't think they're around anymore, at least not available here. And they had some beautiful, beautiful performances, by the way. I mean, here we've got the Concert Overture, the Second Symphony, the Symphony Concertante with Tadeusz Zmudzinski, I think we've heard of him, and the Warsaw National Philharmonic under Witold Rowicki, the great Polish conductor, and the Stabat Mater and the Third Symphony, really beautiful again with Rowicki, and Demeter, his cantata for alto, female choir, and orchestra, and the litanies to the Virgin Mary. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. The Stabat Mater is gorgeous. Fabulous setting of that. And this is one of the great ones. The Violin Concertos 1 and 2 with Wanda Wilomirska, who was a sensational violinist. Wilomirska was just Wilkomirska, pardon me. Wanda Wilkomirska, let me get it straight. An astonishingly wonderful violinist. And this has got the 2 violin concertos, the Violin Sonata and Roxana's Song, again accompanied by Rowicki in the Warsaw National. So these are kind of collector's items, which is why I collected them. Yeah, hot stuff. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, we got tons more. We're getting there. Symphonies 2 and 3 and Violin Concerto number 2. These are with, the Symphonies 2 and 3 are with the Detroit Symphony and Antal Dorati. It was in the Dorati box, and they're very, very fine. The second Violin Concerto is with Chantal Juillet, violin, with Charles Dutoit and the Montreal Symphony. It was a daring thing to do. And we've got Ludoslavsky stuff attached. It's a duo to the Ludoslavsky stuff We'll talk about Ludoslavsky when we get to the letter L. And then we've got, this again. This is Harnasi. This is more of this Naxos series, Madrigora, and the Etude for Orchestra in B-flat minor, orchestrated by Grzegorz Fittelberg. This is with the Polish State Philharmonic under Karol Stryja. Once again, let's go there. Then we've got the complete piano music on Nimbus, 4 CDs with Martin Jones. Really quite good. A very, very good series. And I think it's still available, actually. And thank goodness, because, his piano music is wonderful, chromatic, evocative stuff in the late Chopin, Scriabin sort of tradition, which is all you need to know about it. If you like that, then go for it. Another of the Naxos series with the Stabat Mater and some other sacred pieces, which are nice to have. And we've got Violin Concertos 1 and 2 and the concert overtures with Kaja Danzowska, she of the Myths, with Christian Zimmermann. So yeah, this is hot stuff under Kazimierz chord with the National Philharmonic Orchestra of Warsaw. A little bit more modern sound than those Rovitsky things. And Symphony No. 4 and Harnasi, also with Kazimierz chord and the same groups, the same people. So those are nice to have. This is on CD Accord, which is not Accord. It's CD Accord, a Polish label, which is actually part of Universal now, and probably our Polygram and part of Universal, which means it'll disappear forever. Although it's still out there. It's still out there somewhere. Some of this stuff might be available. Shimanovsky, Symphony No. 4 with Adrian Leeper and Alfredo Pearl with the Grand Canary Islands Symphony and the Grieg Piano Concerto. I have it because, I collect Shimanovsky. Another Chandos, Lydia Mordkovich, or however you want to pronounce it, with Marina Gusak-Grin, the Violin Sonata, the Nocturne in Tarantella, which is rather cool, and the 3 Myths. Yes, she's not Danzowska, but, what can I say? She plays very well. And we've got, this Chandos thing with Leon Botstein and the London Philharmonic. You've got the Second Symphony, the Concert Overture, and 2 of those crazy song cycles for very, very high soprano. Botstein is okay. He did a lot of unusual repertoire. It's fascinating for his selection of repertoire. But as a conductor, he's just not that powerful most of the time. And these Telearch recordings had their hits and misses. That's not a miss, by the way. It's not exactly a hit either. Shimanovsky, King Roger, incredibly wonderful opera. And Prince Potemkin, incidental music to Act 5. This is with Anthony Witt and Polish Forces. It's quite lovely. And the Silesian Quartet, another wonderful disc on CD Accord, featuring the 2 string quartets with the Ludoslavsky string quartet. So there you go, my friends. A lot of Shimanovsky, a guy who didn't really write tons and tons of music, but who is so worth getting to know. He's such an interesting character, fascinating guy. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me here in the Overflow Room. Take care.